Hi everyone. Okay, so my name is Aurélie. I'm a rich media campaign manager, which means that I coordinate Mastheads projects basically on YouTube, and I work also on different kinds of rich media creatives. I'm based in London. I've worked a lot on Russia when I started, and I've been at Google for 3 years. Please don't hesitate to interrupt me if you have any questions at any point. If you don't understand something, if you don't get my English, please stop me and I will try to explain. Okay, so what we will cover today, it will not be as creative as Edu, but hopefully it should be interesting. I'll start with the basic. What is a masthead, standard versus rich media, the feature and component that we have. Also, we'll see a bit of benchmark. Unfortunately, it will be UK focused, but it can already give you an idea. And then if you have questions around more Russia benchmark, I'm sure you can ask Sofia or Nikolai. We'll see some best practices, the masthead process, and then we'll finish with some Q&A at the end. I know that some of you guys already work on the masthead, so you already have an idea, but let's still start and kick off with the beginning. So what is a masthead? A masthead is the leaderboard format which is available on YouTube. It's available in lots of different countries, and it's a 970 by 250 creative. You have two different types, the standard. So this one is a standard format. It was Timothy for Russia. And you also have the expense. So it will start as this one collapse, and then you can click and it transforms in a 900 by 500, sorry. So this is what's a masthead, and it's on for 24 hours once it's set up. I mean, you can buy several days, of course, but if you buy one, it's for 24. So what's the difference between a rich media creative and a standard? Do you guys have any ideas? Or? Okay. So rich media, what is considered as rich media is everything over 40K. Everything where you have different files, you have different Swift files, so you will have one child and one parent. And anytime you have more than one click-through, so if you have one click-through, it's standard. If you have more, it's rich media. And when you have several features, when you have the availability to interact with the banner, to go to different frames, it's considered rich media. So now, I think the presentation will be sent to you later on, and I included some useful resources inside it, so you will have the ability to check that later on as well. Rich media features. So basically, we have all these kind of features that are already available, and I will show you the components later on, but basically we try to make it as simple as possible for you guys to use it to make sure that you can build the most advanced creatives very easily. What is super popular is the Google Maps API. So Edu showed it to you before, but we have a component now, and it's super easy to integrate it inside the creative. And it's quite powerful to make sure to target the user, and also for direct response marketing kind of campaigns. We also have, of course, the video. Video is super important in rich media because it brings lots of user attention. It's very, very good to start with a creative. And we have a YouTube component, which makes it very simple. The video can be hosted on YouTube, and then it will be integrated inside the banner. You'll have the YouTube player, but what is really good is all the click on the video will be registered on the channel as well. So if you have a video and you want it to go like premium and to appear in the first results, it can be super good to integrate this inside a masthead. And as well the QR code, so Edu show you some example on how to connect HTML5 creatives on devices with Flash creatives like the masthead. So we have a component as well that you can just drag and drop and use. And also, we work very closely with an innovation team, which means that if something hasn't been done before, but your client is really keen to try, and it's fine with the YouTube specs, which Evgenia will cover later, we can always advise, help the creative agency, and even develop the components if there is a need. So I think that that's something good that you can discuss. So the double-click rich media components. It's some components that are available on the rich media gallery. And it means that everything is integrated inside, and you can just, the creative agency and developers can just get the component and then drop it inside the creative, use the features, put the assets, and then it's ready. For example, the clickable skin. So, okay, it's not for the masthead, but if you have a website and you want to have the creative around the website, so you will just get the skin, you can put your file inside it, and then it's ready to use. Everything is coded, you have all the trackers inside, it's just ready. As well, webcam and the YouTube subscribe is a new component where it's really good because inside the banner you just have to click and then you subscribe directly to a channel. So it's just a way to make conversions easier. Instead of having to go to the page and subscribe inside the channel, you can just have the component on the banner. And as well, it's super easy. It's just you get it, drag, drop it on the creative, and then it's ready. So there are lots of other components available, which you can just find by going into the rich media gallery. And I put the link on it. Okay, so I just wanted to give you an idea of the power of a masthead. Those numbers are UK focused, but as I was saying, you can ask for more Russian specific later on if you want. So we are around 12 million impressions. I think in Russia it's around 8 million of impressions. And these are for the CTR. It depends on the vertical as well, because some verticals have lots and lots of success with mastheads, like the entertainment one. And also you can see that the interaction rates are stellar, which means that if you book a masthead, you really need to think as how the user will interact with the creative itself. It's very good to bring people to a page, and it's really good to have high CTRs, but it's just better to make sure that the user can already get lots of brand engagement and get direct responses as well within the creative. Then, masthead best practices. So we have several best practices for several kind of marketing goals. I wanted to focus today on brand engagement and interaction and direct response. So I will show you 2 examples, and yeah, let me know if you have questions. So first of all, what we really advise, if you want to have lots of brand engagement and interaction, it's much better to have video. It's really, really good to just have a very strong, catchy video at the beginning to get the user attention right from the start. So we really advise to use the full size and to have maybe some kind of 10 seconds autoplay trailer. So then the user go on YouTube, see the autoplay, and get interested and want to hopefully interact with the banner, learn more, get more information. Interactions as well. It's really good to just think of the creative as the place where you want the user to do things and to make him do things. For this, you can use games. We have lots, especially for entertainment, we have lots of games which are integrated. It's quite simple games where you just have the arrows and you can bring a little character somewhere and do stuff, but it's already quite good. And we see people are staying a lot more on the masthead where they are actually part of something and interacting with it. Webcam as well, it's really good because it makes, I will show you this one after, but it just makes the user be part of the creative itself and be able to just play with it and share too with friends. And I mean, that just makes the whole social part really big also, but I'll come to that later. And call to action. You want the user to understand what he will get from the creative and what he will get from clicking on the buttons. If it's not clear, usually they don't bother or they just will not do it. So it has to be big, simple, and make the person understand, if I click this, I will get this, or I will learn about this, or I will go to this place. But they have to know. And social networks, of course, for brand engagement. I mean, if you do a masthead and if you work on brand engagement, you want to get user to share and to show to his friends, to show to people, to create maybe a small buzz on the internet. So it's always good to have somewhere all the social buttons like Facebook, Google+, Twitter, and make them share. This one, okay, so I will show you now. So basically, okay, hopefully I'll be able to get it. Okay, so it was a creative for Doritos and Pepsi Max because they were doing some kind of partnership together, and they decided to go for this. So you arrive on the creative, you see this, you think, okay, what is it? I want to start. So start now. There is a bit of legal advice, but okay. You can see that the buttons are very catchy and very, very big. So you can see, yes, let's go. Then you can either take a pic from the webcam. So this is from the webcam component that we've seen before. Or you can just go upload a photo. Yeah, okay, so let's say that I'm this person. Okay, you're happy with the picture. If not, you can reduce it, put it a bit more, turn it upside down. It's quite basic, but still, you can still like personify your picture. Then this is good because you get a little comic, so you add a caption. You can put, hello, friends. You want another one, okay. Okay, you're satisfied with your creation, so you can just confirm. And then you can either share it on Facebook, and this is where it was really good because lots of people, they were happy to be able to customize their picture. And because they were happy with the picture, they wanted to share with their friends to show, okay, look how cool I am, how good I look. And then you can have lots of other people going to the creative and wanting to try as well and share it. So this is usually quite good. And as well, you have here you have an exit, which show you to the adventure of Doritos Pepsi. So then you go, I mean, it's an exit, so you go to a landing page and you can have more like comic stuff, learn more about the product. So this one had lots of success and worked really well. So as well, I mean, I put others. So I put links, and you have all the things we advise for brand engagement. And as well, you have other examples available. So if you want to have a look later on, that's fine. Now, direct response. Because for each media, we get lots of people thinking that maybe it's really good for the brand, it's really good for showing the brand, showing a new product, but maybe for direct response, maybe not. But actually, it's quite the opposite. Because you can just really customize each impressions and really integrate so many different things that you can have lots of conversions as well from a masthead creative. So this example, Edu already showed you a bit. Basically, it was for McDonald's in Sweden, and they were launching a new product, the Mac Wrap. I don't know if you have it in Russia. Okay, it's like a crepe, no, a wrap. So it's like a pancake with chicken and stuff inside, and it's round and thin like this, basically. So they were launching in Sweden, and they just, I'll start with the theory. I'll come back to the example first. I'll let a bit of suspense. For direct response, your offer should be very clear, unique, visible. You should create some kind of emergency. Be like, we have this promotion for 24 hours, or we are having this event for 2 days, to make the user think that, okay, it's now, I have to do something, and it's happening. As well, images and colors, keep it simple. Don't go too crazy, don't go too complicated. Just have something like basic, okay, I mean, but with, you know, simple. You can see there is the button on the right, the map, and on the left, the offer and what it is about. And as well, you should be able to create lots of interactions. So it's really good if you have a new product, for example, you can have a 360 showcase, so you can show different size of the product, different videos as well. You can have carousels, And maps is really, really good because then you can just present the store location or present the place where the user will be able to shop, or just indicate like how many shops you have and where they'll be able to go. So this one was for Sweden. For McDonald's, they were launching the McWrap new product. So what they decided to do is to buy a masthead and to present an offer to the person. So I hope it will work for me. I hope I will be luckier than you, Edu. But basically, you have the map of Sweden, and you have all the different locations where McDonald's is implemented. And because it's McDonald's, there is a lot. And then they just presented discounts. So you have an offer inside the creative, and you are able to either download the offer or get it on your phone, and then just get to the nearest McDonald's available, and to present the offer to try the McWrap. So it was just really like, okay, we have an offer for this long, for 24 hours basically. You get the coupon, you try it, hopefully you like it, and then you buy some more later on. I think, okay, I'll try to refresh, but I'm not sure how successful I will be. Okay, so yeah, this is the wrap. It looks better than my description, I guess. And as well, this is quite easy to implement because you just need to use the Google double-click component map that we have, and then you can just set it up inside the creative. All the creative is just regular Flash. We have templates for Mastheads as well, so it's easy. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't think we'll be able to see, but basically you have the map of Sweden, and you are able to zoom in and to get the closest store. As well, the links that are underneath and that you will be able to access later on contain different kinds of other creatives with the same marketing goal, so you will be able to check. Okay. Now we are getting into more of the process part and what you need and what steps you should follow to build a masthead. If you already built one, you should be knowledgeable about this, but just in case I wanted to remind. So please stop me if you have any questions at any point, because it's super important that the process is respected to make sure that everything goes smooth and we have a creative ready on time. So once the masthead is built, there is usually, there is a kickoff, and I will go through the steps quickly now and then deep dive into more just after. So basically, you have a kickoff email which is sent, which contains which have all the stakeholders inside. It's very important that there is one thread with all the right people, and not lots of emails going into all different kinds of directions. Everything should be in one, and everyone involved should be included in that. Okay, then the creative is built by the creative agency, so it can take a few days. And of course, the campaign manager is available at each point, and the YouTube media managers as well, to help and to advise the creative agency if there is any questions. Once the creative is built, it should be uploaded inside Studio. It's the workflow tool that we have to have all the creatives in one place, to be able to send previews to the client, and also to be able to send the creative to the team that will check that everything works before having it live. This afternoon, I have a session very specific about Studio where I will present the interface and the process inside Studio, how it works and the steps. So once the creative is in Studio and everyone is happy about it, it is sent to the quality assurance team that we have. It's a team that we have that check the creative in different kinds of browsers and different kinds of versions. So once they check the creative, so you have the quality assurance feedback and the YouTube feedback, which is usually made by Evgenia. And she will go into the specs later on, but she might come back and be like, okay, this is not fine with the specs we have, so you might want to amend the creative in order for us to have it live. So once you get feedback, usually there are some amends to make by the creative agency to make sure that everything is fine with quality assurance and with YouTube. The amends are made, and then the creative goes back to QA, goes back to YouTube, and hopefully it gets approved. Once approved, the creative is pushed directly into the ad server that we have, which is called DFA, and it's trafficked by the campaign manager. So the campaign manager set up the placement, the date, make sure everything is fine, then send it to YouTube for implementation. Then there is a new check as well with a live test. The live test is sent to the media agency, I mean the agency and the clients, and to you guys, basically. And then it's set up live for 24 hours. And after that, the report is sent. And we can, of course, advise on the data and the report. The kickoff email. So who should be included? It's very important that all these people are inside at the right beginning of the campaign. So you should have your account manager, I mean the person who sold the masthead to you. And they will usually be the one initiated the thread. Double-click campaign manager, so someone like me or someone in my team, which will be able to help on the creative and the process. The YouTube media manager, so for Russia it should be Evgenia, but it can be other people from her team as well in case she's not available or she's not there. And the creative agency. So for the creative agency, it's really good to have the developer designer and the project manager. It's good to have both on it. And what you need to have inside it, so you need to have the creative type, whether is it a standard masthead, is it an expand, what is the creative concept. If you have mockups, it's always better and just help go faster and understanding the creative concept. And then we can just advise and help more. Reminder of the process as well, the timelines. It's very important. The creative should be ready for QA inside Studio 9 days before the live date to make sure everything is smooth. So timelines are super important for this project, as well as there remarketing or not, and is there any kind of specific tracking you might request. We track by default 100 different events and things inside the creatives, but sometimes, for some reasons, you might want something different. In that case, we need to discuss this with the creative agency at the beginning of the project. Then the creative is built by the creative agency. So as I was saying, it can be in AS2, AS3. We have templates available we have more than 800 templates, and we have lots specifically for YouTube mastheads on the Rich Media Gallery. And they are up to date, so they can just be taken from there. As well, it's mandatory to have at least those components. So the polite loader, enabler, exits. I won't go too much into details because if you have questions, I mean, you can ask me now or later. And Edu will go into like lots of details and will show exactly what it is and how to implement this afternoon. And then once the creative is built, it needs to be uploaded in DoubleClick Studio. It needs to be done by the creative agency, and the creative agency should have ownership of the studio account. Once it's in Studio, you can check the preview, and I will show you how to do it later on to see that the creative is fine, it functions in a good way, and also you are able to send the preview to the client to make sure you get approval from them. And then the creative agency hit the publish button, and it goes directly to our team, the quality assurance team. The quality assurance can take up to 24 hours, and they just really get the creative and put it in Internet Explorer, Chrome, all different kinds, and they just go, they try everything to make sure we will not have any issue with the tracking or with the behaving of it during the live. They send afterwards the feedback, and you will get the YouTube feedback also. And then if there is any change to make and to be made, the creative agency will need to amend it. And as well, we are super happy to jump in at this time and help them. And if they have questions or if they are not clear about anything, we can really advise around it. The creative get published again, hopefully approved and sent to trafficking. DFA, okay, manager to traffic. The tags are set up. The last preview is sent. And this is the last time where you can check that everything is fine for you. And then it's set up live. Okay, and afterwards, you will be sent the reporting by the team, and the report will include all the kind of trackers, events, and rich media metrics that were included inside the creative. So it's very important as well that you have the right labels and you understand what is what to just understand the report and make sure you get the results for the creative. Okay, so I think I am done with the masthead part. So I don't know if you guys have any questions or if you wanted to see anything else.
I would like to ask.
Okay, so the YouTube Media Manager is in charge of, is really like YouTube focused and specific, and will make sure that will be able to help you and is completely have a specific process as well, but will make sure that everything set up live is fine with YouTube specs and policies. They will also be in charge of putting the creative live, but for this kind of campaign, they will mainly be able to advise on, okay, if you have a campaign, for example, you work on a movie like James Bond and you're not sure if some scenes are fine or not, then you will ask the YouTube media managers and they will come back to you and tell you, okay, so this is fine, maybe this is not fine, maybe if you just change this, you will be able to have it live. So they will just advise and consult on every kind of policy issues and specs issues as well. Evgenia will talk to you on this afterwards, but for example, you cannot have more than 30 seconds animation on YouTube. So all these kind of specific things will be the media manager YouTube side. They will be the one to set up the live preview as well and to set up the live. So we work super closely for each campaign. We interact on a daily basis when there is a masthead. My team is more really double-click specific. So we will usually work a lot with the creative agency. If there is any issues with DoubleClick Studio, if they have any questions on DoubleClick Studio on the components, my team will be in charge, or me. And as well, so all the kind of technical things around the creative, it will be the campaign manager, and if I have to, I can reach out to Edu's team for more like technical advices, how to build this and this. We have a publisher team as well that I can talk to. And also all the trafficking part will be DoubleClick campaign manager's responsibility for DFA. And I think that will be pretty much it. So everything that is more technical would be campaign manager, and everything that is more YouTube specific will be media manager. Are you okay with the answer, Nikolai? Good. All right, so if there is no more questions, I think I will leave the space for Evgenia for the YouTube more specific things.